Ascolterete Per come sei, musiche di Guglielmo Gioele, testo di qualcun altro.
And in this video you will have the chance of expanding your Italian vocabulary and your use of the Italian subjunctive, il congiuntivo. Ciao e benvenuti a LIS, Learn Italian Songs, Learn Italian with Songs. And no, this is not the wrong channel. This is LIS where you learn Italian, but I'm playing a Venezuelan musical instrument and I will tell you about it later. So today we are going to translate my translation of a very, very famous American song, and the song is Just the Way You Are by Billy Joel. In the last video I did something different than what you're used to seeing on this channel, but that sometimes you will happen to see it. And this might be the fourth time in which I make my own version of a famous English or American classic. Now, in the spirit of the channel, I always try to make my versions of songs originally written in English as close as possible to the original. So if I'm not able to translate word by word, at least I try to keep the meaning the same. I don't think the song Just the Way You Are by Billy Joel needs any introduction. It is a very, very famous song. And why did I choose this song? Well, this was not a request. This was something that came from my personal experience. So what happened is during the Easter break, my family and I, we went to the Amalfi Coast, the Costiera Amalfitana. So I had to drive a lot because we went there by car. And you know, when you drive for hours and hours, the thoughts in your head begin to wander. And my thoughts went back to that time when I went to the Netherlands by car, to Holland by car. And it was a long drive, that one too. And in my car, I still have a CD player, like back in the day. And on that particular journey, we listened a lot to the CD The Stranger by Billy Joel, in which the song Just the Way You Are is included. And so my mind must have made the connection. Long drive equals Just the Way You Are. And so unwillingly, I started thinking about a translation for that song. And I couldn't stop my mind from wondering how that song would sound had it been written in Italian. And the song that came out was a song in a strange kind of Italian, which mixes a bit of outdated Italian vocabulary and sentence structure with a bit of regional versions of the Italian language. Now, when I came back home, I had the whole lyrics written down in my head. Everything I had to do was to write them on paper and find an arrangement. And for some unknown reason again, I gravitated towards the cuatro, the instrument I was talking to you about. This is the national instrument of Venezuela. Its name is cuatro, which, well, you guessed it, means four. But the spelling is quite different from the Italian. If you write it in Italian the way you would write it in Spanish, C-U-A-T-R-O, you would make two mistakes, not just one, because quattro, the number four in Italian, is spelled with a Q at the beginning, not a C, just like in Spanish, and you have two letters T in the middle. So cuatro is in Italian, cuatro in Espanol. This is not the first song that I've played using the Venezuelan Cuatro. I'll leave links in the description below so you can check out the others if you have not seen them yet. And now let's translate my translation of Just the Way You Are by Billy Joel, and I will do a comparison between the original lyrics and the lyrics I came up with to see the difference between the original English version and the English translation of my Italian version. Complicated.
La traduzione, la traduzione.
Now, as usual, you will see the translation on this side of the screen with some important words or phrases highlighted in the lower portion of the video. And let's start from the title.
Il titolino.
Now, the title Just the Way You Are could be translated in Italian with proprio come sei. Proprio is one of the possible translations of the word just. We could also translate just with a very similar Italian word, which is giusto. And giusto, just like in English, can mean right, so correct, or it could also mean a just person, un uomo giusto, a just man, but it could also mean translated with proprio. Oh, this is just the answer I was looking for. Questa è proprio la risposta che stavo cercando. Just that. Proprio quello. So I think the best way to render this title into Italian is proprio, just. The way is il modo in cui. The way in the phrase the way you are is not a synonym for the street or the road. It means how. So in this case, I chose to translate it as the how version of the Italian language, which is come. And you are in Italian would be tu sei. So proprio is just. Come is how or the way. Tu sei, you are, which in Italian can be shortened with sei, which can only mean you are, second person singular, you, tu. So the first line of the original song is don't go changing to try and please me. Don't go changing, if it were to be translated in Italian word by word, would be non andare cambiando. And we could also use this expression in Italian, non andar cambiando. It's a bit of an outdated way to say non cambiare, which is the expression that I chose for my translation. So non cambiare, my first line, can be translated as don't change. But mind you, we could also say non andar cambiando, and it would have a similar meaning, albeit a bit outdated and old sounding. To try to please me, which is the second line of the original, I translated this as simply to please me because it fit the metric better, and to please me, in order to please me, is per piacermi. Per means to or in order to. Piacermi is the union of the word piacere and mi. Mi means to me, and piacere is to be liked or to be appreciated by. So whereas in English we say I like pizza, in Italian we say mi piace la pizza, which means to me pizza is liked or good. It's a radically different construction. So per piacermi means to be liked by me in a way. So I left out the try to please me and I used only to please me, but not to please me, but to be liked by me. And then I proceeded with sai, non mi hai mai deluso tu, where the original lyrics go, you never let me down before. I just added something. I added this sai at the beginning, which means, you know, non mi hai mai deluso. I deluso, you have. I deluso, let me down, or disappointed. So you have disappointed or you have let down. This me before I means to me, so you never let me down or you never disappointed me. And then I added a tu, so you never let me down, you. And I left out the original before of Billy Joel's song. Then it proceeds, non pensare di esser troppo normale. Non pensare means don't think. I modified the original don't imagine in don't think. You're too familiar. I transformed it in of being too normal. Di essere, of being, troppo, too, normal, normale, normal. Instead of familiar, I said normal. So non pensare di esser troppo normale means don't think of being, or so don't think that you are too normal. And then the original lyrics proceed with and I don't see you anymore, and I just added a therefore in Italian. E perciò non ti veda più. E is and, perciò is therefore. Io non veda. Veda is subjunctive. I don't see. Ti before veda is you, so I don't see you. And this più at the end of the line means anymore. It does not mean more of something, but anymore. So e perciò non ti veda più. and therefore I don't see you anymore. And then I had to switch places between the third and the fourth line, and these are the lines that I had to change the most. So the original lyrics by Billy Joel go, I wouldn't leave you in times of trouble, we never could have gone this far. So I put we never could have gone this far, the meaning before, and I paraphrased it with se stiamo insieme ancora oggi, which word by word means se is if, stiamo we stay or we are, insieme is together, ancora is still, and oggi is today. So if we are still together today, se stiamo insieme ancora oggi, we never could have gone this far is the original. So today still we are together. And then the previous line, which was I wouldn't leave you in times of troubles, I paraphrased this with è perché mai ti lascerei, which word by word means è it is, perché because, mai never, ti lascerei, you I would live, so I would leave you. So it's because I would never leave you, in which I wanted to translate I'll never leave you in times of troubles. And the following line by Billy Joel goes, I took the good times, I'll take the bad times. And I paraphrased this with nei tempi belli e in quelli brutti. Nei tempi belli means nei in the, tempi is times, belli is beautiful or good. So in the beautiful times we could say e in quelli brutti, e is and, in is in, quelli is those, and brutti is bad. It could also mean ugly, but in this case in the bad times. So in the good times and in the bad times, nei tempi belli e in quelli brutti. Mind you that we would not say nei tempi belli e in quelli brutti, we would rather say nei periodi belli e in quelli brutti, using the word periodo, which is a period, or nei momenti belli e in quelli brutti, using the word momento, which is moment, or still nei giorni belli e in quelli brutti, where giorni is days. But I decided to stick to the original and use the word tempi, times. And then the line that concludes the first verse is ti prenderò per come sei, which was the original I'll take you just the way you are. Ti prenderò, prenderò is the future tense of prendere, I will take, and ti is you, so I will take you, ti prenderò. Per come sei literally means per is for, come is how or the way, for the way, sei is you are.
Seconda strofa.
The second verse, the original one, goes, don't go trying some new fashion, and once again we could say in Italian non andar provando, go andare, short form andar. Provando would be the literal translation of trying, but I decided to stick to a more modern Italian, which is non provare, more simply, and non provare means don't try. Mode, nuove, moda with the A in the end is fashion, singular. Mode would be the plural, so fashions, and nuove is the adjective that matches the noun. Mode, nuove, feminine plural of the word new. So don't try new fashions, non provare mode nuove. And then the original says don't change the color of your hair, but I made it I tuoi capelli non cambiar, which literally means I tuoi, the your. Capelli is hairs, because for us Italian, the hair on your head is plural. We always use hair at the plural form, capelli. Rarely we say un capello, just one strand, one single strand of hair. So the your hairs, non cambiar. Non means don't, and cambiar is the short form of cambiare, which means change. So don't change your hair. And this sentence structure sounds a bit old-fashioned. I tuoi capelli non cambiare. We would say non cambiare I tuoi capelli in standard modern spoken Italian. Non cambiare I tuoi capelli. But this is a song, so I tuoi capelli non cambiar fits into the metric. And then I had to translate, you always have my unspoken passion. And I switched the places of the words a bit. So my Italian version is la mia passione per te è sottointesa. La mia passione, my passion, per te, for you, is sottointesa is a word that can be translated as unspoken or understood. È sottointeso means it's understood. It's unspoken, it's unsaid, but everybody knows that it's there. Sottointeso. And then, although I might not seem to care, I translated this with anche se non lo do a vedere. Anche is also, se is if, also if, or even if. Non lo do a vedere is an idiom to say I don't show it. Dare a vedere literally means to give, to see, and it means to show something, to give a manifestation or something. Dare, give, a vedere. So even if I don't show it, anche se non lo do a vedere. And then it proceeds, I don't want clever conversation. And this one is almost word by word translated in my version. I don't want, non voglio. I don't, non want, voglio. Argute is still used in standard Italian, but it's a bit of a fancy word and it means clever. So if you make a clever remark, you could say una arguta osservazione. Argute conversazione means clever conversations. And then I never want to work that hard. I translated this with non voglio faticare assai. Once again, non voglio, I don't want. Faticare is a word that is used to mean to work in parts of Italy. I have friends from Naples who say agge fatica, which in standard Italian we would say devo lavorare. So faticare is used as a synonym for lavorare in some parts of Italy, and it literally means to labor or to toil. Fatica means the effort or also the toil. So to work hard could be translated as faticare, and I don't want to work that hard. I translated this as assai, and assai once again can be used in standard Italian, but it is usually used in the southern part of Italy to mean a lot. Maybe the more standard Italian synonym for assai would be molto, but assai can be used and is used in standard Italian. So this line, non voglio faticare assai, has a certain Neapolitan flavor to it. The following line is, I just need someone that I can talk to, and I translated this with basta qualcuno con cui parlare. Basta means it's enough or is sufficient. Qualcuno is someone. Con cui is with whom. Parlare is talk. So basta, it's enough. Qualcuno, someone. Con cui, with whom. Parlare, to talk. And then the closing line of this verse is, I want you just the way you are, which in my version is translated almost word by word. I want you is ti voglio. Voglio is I want. Ti before voglio is you, so I want you. Proprio is just, as I said at the beginning. The way is come, the way in which or how. And sei is you are. Arriva al ponte. And then we get to the bridge, which is, I need to know that you will always be the same with someone that I knew. And I need to know, I translate this as devo esser certo. And devo esser certo literally means devo is I must, esser is be, and certo is certain or sure. I must be sure. Che sarai per me. Che is that, sarai is you will be, per me is for me. So I need to be sure that you will be for me. And then the same old someone that I knew, I translated this as quella di un tempo nulla più. Quella is the one, and we know that we are talking about a female person in this case, quella with the A in the end. Di un tempo means of a time. Di is of, un tempo means once upon a time, so the one of once upon a time, the one I used to know. Nulla più is literally means nulla, nothing, più, more in this case. And then the part in which Billy Joel says, what can I do till you believe in me the same way I believe in you, or something of the sort. I had to make some changes in the Italian version, and I translated this as che devo far se come credo in te, and this literally means che, what, devo far, must I do, and far is the short version of fare, do. What must I do? Se come credo in te, se is if, come is the way or how, credo is I believe, e in te is in you. What must I do if I would like you to believe in me in the same way as I believe in you? Vorrei che in me credessi tu. Vorrei is I would like, che is that, in me, in me, credessi. Credessi is another congiuntivo, but in this case it's imperfecto, so like a past subjunctive, we could say. What must I do if the way I believe in you, I would like you to, vorrei che tu, credessi in me, believed in me. Credessi is believed, but not simple past. Past subjunctive, in me means in me.
Ultima strofa.
And here comes the last verse and chorus, and it's I said I love you, and this one I managed to translate word by word. Ho detto means I said. Actually, this means I have. Ho detto is said, so I use the passato prossimo in a way, the English present perfect. Ho detto, I said, or I have said. T'amo is a short and poetic form to say ti amo. The T with the apostrophe is a short form of T-I, T. So ho detto is I have said. T'amo means I love you. Amo is I love. Ti, you. Ed è per sempre, and it's forever. Ed is another version of the conjunction e, which if it's followed by a word that begins with a vowel can become ed. E is it is. Per sempre means forever. And this I promise from the heart. From the heart in Italian is dal cuore. Dal is the union of da il. Da is from, il is the. Cuore is heart. Lo prometto, I promise. Lo is it, I promise it. From the heart. And then I added sai, which is once more you know, because I needed a syllable, and I needed a word that rhymes or almost rhymes with say. I couldn't love you any better. I translated this as non posso amarti in miglior modo, which literally means non posso, I cannot, amarti, love you, amar, love, ti is you. In, miglior, a better, modo is way. I cannot love you in a better way. And then the very last line is io ti amerò per come sei, which is I will love you. Io ti amerò, future tense of the verb amare. Io, I, ti, you, amerò, will love. Per come sei means per, for, come, how, or the way, sei, you are. And this ends the song. So thank you for watching this till the end, for enduring this long translation. Put a thumb up, pollice su, mi piace if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. And then, I never stress it enough, please let's engage in some Italian related conversation. Do so by writing in the comments below. If you are feeling particularly generous, you can always donate by Coffee or PayPal, and I'll leave the links below. You can find also affiliated links in case you wanted to buy one of the instruments that I play in my videos. I will get very small percentages from every purchase that you make. And I'll see you on the next of LIS Learn Italian Songs, Learn Italian with Songs. Ciao!